Hi everyone, I just wanted to share a quick idea with you. I've just rescued my socks off the washing line from the rain, and I just thought I'd share an activity with you which is really easy to set up, and it involves socks. Okay, so our activity today is with our washing, and I've got some socks today because we're going to have a look at showing how we can introduce the idea of odd and even using socks and odd socks. So the first activity, give your child a bundle of socks, see if they can get them into matching pairs. So over here I've got all my matching pairs, finding socks that are exactly the same and calling them a pair. Okay, so that's the first task. And you'll notice that some children will pair up socks because they have something similar on them. So these two look like they've got the same background colour. They might think they're the same because they're to do with space, but actually you and I know that they're not a matching pair, but obviously that's a discussion point to talk about with your child. Again, these look really similar, but they've got different characters, and these look really similar, but they've got different stripes, different patterns on. Okay, so there's lots and lots of discussion about identical, similar, the same, and different, lots of vocabulary there, and also pairs. Once they've done that, they can have a go at how we make odd and even numbers. And to help the children, I've got my counting bears. I've deliberately chosen some that are the same colour. I've got my Numicon, and I've got my tens frame. So all I do is I say to the child, okay, we are working on odd and even numbers today. Let's see if we know whether a number is odd or even. If it's odd, it means it's got one left over. One little bear doesn't have a matching pair. So let's begin. If you say, okay, let's look at the number 4. Let's put them into 1, 2, 3, 4. There are my 4 counting bears. Is this number odd or even? Let's find out. We're going to put them into pairs. These two make a pair, and these two make a pair. Now, have we got any left over that are on their own? No, we don't. And because of that, we say that the number 4 is even. And it also is a nice square shape or rectangle shape. Okay, let's try another number. This time, let's try the number 3. Is number 3 odd or even? Now, to try, we need to check and put them into pairs. We've got 3 bears. Let's put these together. They make a pair. Put them on our tens frame. And then we've got 1 left over. So we've got a pair, but we've got 1 little bear on his own. So we know that this number is odd. And again, we can look at the shape. And the shape for Numicon is not a rectangle and it's not a square. Okay. Then we try again with maybe number 5. Is number 5 odd or even? Okay, so number 5. Let's see if we can put it into pairs. We'll get these two together and these two together. We've got 1 left over, so we know number 5 is odd because it's got 1 that's on its own. Okay, so we can't put them all into pairs. We've got 1 left over, and that makes it an odd number. And what they'll find from doing it is that all the odd numbers are shaped like this, where they have a bit that sticks up at the top, and they'll find that all the even numbers are nice rectangles or squares. Okay, like that. Now there is one number that sometimes can be tricky, and that's the number 1. And you can say, well, actually, is that odd or even? Let's look at it. 1 bear. Can you put it into pairs? No, it's on its own. So number 1 is odd because it's already on its own. Okay, so a nice one to try, and again it just deepens that understanding because they're physically doing it, and they also build up an image in their head as well of what odd looks like, what even looks like, and it also starts to look at their times tables counting in 2s as well. Okay, another one to try.